Hello there YouTube, this is the Rogue Gem Player and coming at with a Marincess deck profile. It's another deck. It is the one card starter the deck. I am actually loving Zelantis, so I thought I'd make a deck that basically focuses on making him a win condition, and this is one of the few decks that can do that. That can do that really well and still make its own normal plays with Zelantis in play. So, starting off with the monsters. So this deck is also unique in being a bunch of one-card starters with an engine that is very small. So you can play a lot of non-engine or other sub-engines if you'd like. So there's a lot of customizability, mainly because the main core is like 20 cards in most cases. So the remaining 20 can be whatever you want. So let's start with the 3 copies of Blue Tang. This is your main card. You're gonna have this. You send, you normal this. You send something, and then you go into Blue Slug, and then you just keep going and going and going. This is just how you make it happen. So also you can use this to foolish things, dig into your deck. Eventually you're gonna hit something. The deck is completely one-card starters. So 3 of the Spring Girl, which is your primary extender. Banish a Marincess to special it. Another way of digging into your deck. So it's another one-card starter. Then we play 3 of the Paraclese. This is mainly that you play this so that you actually can get multiples out of your hand. You can use this and a Blue Tang and still get the effect. It just, in the event you ult multiples, you have a way of getting them out, and not to mention you can recur spell traps if you need it, because you can get back dive, you can get wave back if you need it. So, and then 3 of the Seahorse. Another card to get into your plays for, link lining and such. 2 of the Mandarin, and then the 1 Basilima. This card is in here mainly because you can, if one of your cards would be destroyed, you can banish this card instead. So you can. It allows you to play through certain interruptions. It allows you to play through it. It's also a level. It's another name. It's another level 4, so you can use it for things like Bahamut Shark if you need it. That's all the monsters. 12 monsters. Sorry, yeah, 15 monsters. You play it, like I said. We don't play many of the. The engine itself is pretty small, considering. And then for the non-engine monsters, we're playing 3 of the Ash Blossom. It is the most generic hand trap in the entire game. You should always be playing 3 of it if you can get away with it. There are some very rare occasions where you won't want to play it, but in most cases you can play it against basically anything, so you always should have access to it. We're then playing 3 of the Nibiru. There's enough decks out there that can still summon a bunch of monsters, including this one. So you always have to have access to it. Not to mention, I do play a copy of Cross-Set Designator, so it helps as well. So, and then the last hand trap, we're playing 2 copies of Drone Lockbird. If you play this smartly, you can completely shut down decks with this. So always keep that in mind. We're then playing for the spells 2 dive, bring back a Marincess or search one. It's important that you have access to it, because you always can recur this, and this just keeps the deck going. The 1 Battle Ocean, it's searchable. You get access to it pretty easily, so. And it's part of the combo. For the remaining spells, we're playing 3 copies of Pot of Desires. This is one of the few decks where you cannot play Pot of Prosperity, mainly because the extra deck is very tight and you go through a lot of it very fast. So what you do is you search out your Battle Ocean, you search out your one-ofs that you need, and then you go to Desires, or if you absolutely don't have a choice, you can play Desires because you play a lot of 3-ofs. Like I said, the deck is 1-card starter. So, and then because it's 1-card starter, you would play 3 copies of Forbidden Droplet. It's up to you if you want to play this. I like this because like I said, you open 1-card starters. So you can have this and your 1-card starter, and you have 3 cards you ditch, and now all of a sudden you can address multiple things at the same time. So, and then Triple Tactics Talent, the 1 Crossout Designator, and the 1 copy of Called by the Grave as our remaining spells. They're self-explanatory. You have to play them. And then for traps, 3 Imperm. This is actually a little bit better than Veiler, because if this becomes your 6th card, you can at least play it. Whereas Effect Veiler, there's not a whole lot you can do with it. And also it's good going first as well, because you can set it and lock out on its own. So, and then we're playing 2 copies of Wave. You can play 1, 3's too many, but I like 2 because there are certain cases where opening up the second one helps, and plus we're playing Desires, so it helps to always have a copy in the deck. For the extra deck, we're playing 2 copies of Sea Angel to search out your spell traps, 2 copies of Blue Slug, which locks you. This is the card that locks you, so keep that in mind. 2 Coral Anemone to keep the deck rolling. That's all the low-level links. And then for the one-ofs, the 1 Marbled Rock, the 1 Coral Triangle, the 1 Bubble Reef, and the 1 Argonaut. You will go through all of this eventually at some point in your combo. Some combos will go through 3 of them, some of them will go through 2. It depends entirely on depending on your hand. So, and then for generic links, we're playing the 1 Era, the 1 Zealantis. When you Xenolock yourself, when you are Xenolocked. So the way that this card works is if you Xenolock yourself because you are special summoning those monsters back. If your opponent has nothing but fire or something like that, they don't get their monsters back, which is pretty broken. So this is like one of the cases where Zealantis is really, 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 really broken. So, and then we're playing a couple Exceed monsters: Abyss Dweller, Bahamut Shark, and Toad. These can be any 3 cards you want. This is like the main flex point in the deck. Just because you can play any type of engine in the deck, and it does basically the same thing. It's really up to your preference. Some people say play the Kraken. It's completely up to you. So that's the deck. Like I said, it's a 1-card starter deck, and it's one of those decks that it is getting support. I don't know how well that the new support card is going to do, but it is something that that says we might get stuff in later sets. So, and anytime we get water support, and there's a lot of things you can play in. You can play Bish Sharks, you can play all kinds of other fun stuff, because the only thing that you have to worry about is the water Xenolock, not type specific. So, thank you for stopping by, and comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.